out there in the Strait, they get so many birds out there. They'll have like 500 ancient murrelets. They'll have long-tailed ducks, and so it's really a good spot. They normally get last year they had 136 species. We're more like 120 or so. Last year our count was 119, which is below the 10 average of 128. So it's around 25, I think, overall. And we had 52,000 birds, which was lower, or which is a little higher than normal. And we had 268 observers. So 268. We're in the top 10 in the nation as far as the number of participants, which is great. But one of the more interesting things I found out is that Edmonton, in Canada, small town, they had 519. But what I've read is they have someone who is very good at getting feeder count people. It gets to be a little chilly up there, so they count from their houses. But 519 people being involved that's really quite the accomplishment. And one last thing, I saw this one, I hadn't seen this before, the most common CBC birds. The most common bird is the red-winged blackbird. Last year there were 8 million. Snow goose, there were 3 million. And starling, there were 2 million. So there's pretty much almost twice as many snow geese as there are the next two highest ones. So the snow geese that we get up here in the Skagit, they breed on Wrangel Island, which is off the coast of Siberia. The snow geese that they get in the Midwest, they all are up in Canada in the Arctic. And actually they're eating themselves out of house and home. They're just destroying the tundra. There's so many. They've tried to increase the hunters count, but the hunters, there are not enough hunters to make a dent in all those snow geese. It's mostly down south where they have those big rice fields. The geese just doing so well down there. So it's just amazing how many geese are. We think of snow geese as a big deal, but geez, most of the country can't stand them because they're eating everything. Okay, so like I said, we're going to go through the list here, and I want to keep track so we kind of have it at the end how many we have. So I'll say what it is, and then raise your hand, or I'll take a look around, and maybe if it's an unusual bird, I'll ask you where you saw it, get a little more information. But if it's a robin, probably let that one slide. Okay, we're going to start out with snow goose. Now, we don't get very snow geese in town, but every once in a while there's one at the Union Bay or something like that, but none. Greater white-fronted geese, same thing. We got a few of those there. Brant, okay. Is that the only? Normally we get those off of West Seattle too, but you're the only one. Cackling geese. They're a little more common. Canada goose. My first teacher told me that you don't dare call them Canadian geese. They are Canada geese, not Canadian geese. Okay, the swans, trumpeter swans. All right. Over on the east side. Yep. Anybody else have them? Oh.
Flying over the zoo.
Oh.
Well, they swear. There was 2 people before.
Tundra swans. There were a couple at the Union Bay for a while, but I guess they've moved on. Wood duck. Should have been a few wood ducks. So this one's a little unusual one. Cinnamon teal. We do get those, but not very often. That's more of a spring and fall thing. Shovelers. Yeah, common winter duck for us. Gadwall. Eurasian widgeon. Always a couple of those around. I think it's just the wrong height for my bifocals. Getting old, I guess, is what the kids said me. American widgeon.
Do you want to put this on the clipboard so you can hold it up higher? Will that help?
Might help, yeah.
There you go.
Then I can see it. Can't hear it, but I can see it. Okay, mallards. A common one. Pintails. Pintails, another pretty common one. Green-winged teal. Canvasback. All right, not really a common winter duck here, but we do see them. Richard. One year we had kind of a Halloween kind of festival thing in the costumes. Richard came as a canvasback. I couldn't figure out he had a string with a piece of canvas hanging down his back. I couldn't figure it out. He goes, well, it's canvasback. Okay, that was a good one. Redhead. Yeah, that's not really a winter bird for us either. Ringneck duck. Greater scop. Lesser scop. Harlequin duck. Right. So none off of Elkai. That's not. All right. Surf scoter. Yeah, pretty common one. We saw several. Well, white-winged scoter. Good job, yeah. That's not quite as common. How about black scoter? That's used to be called a common scoter, but they realized it was not very common, so now it's the black scoter. How about long-tailed duck? Sweet. Okay, bufflehead. Common goldeneye. Barrow's goldeneye. Hooded merganser. Right, that's a beautiful bird. Common merganser. Red-breasted merganser. Yeah, we saw a few of those ourselves. Ruddies. Right. California quail. This bird's been on the list for years, but we haven't seen it for years. The quail is one of those birds that was basically raised and released. That's all the quails and pheasants in town are always raised and released, and whoever was doing it stopped doing it. Because we used to have them at Magnuson, Discovery Park, the Phil, we used to have them down there, but we haven't seen one for years. Same with the ringneck pheasant. Pied-billed grebe. Okay. Horned grebe. Redneck grebe. This one's a little tougher. Eared grebe. And we get those in the winter sometimes, but they're not a common bird and very easily overlooked. Western grebe. I guess those were off of Magnuson on Lake Washington. You had them up there too? Okay, great. Rock pigeon. How about bandtail pigeon? Find that's really interesting because some years we have a lot of, even at our house we have sometimes 20 bandtail pigeons. I haven't had one all winter, so sometimes Kathy had one, yeah. Oh. So they're just not very many this year.
Did someone see one?
Yeah, Kathy had one in Discovery Park. Mourning dove. Mourning dove, more of a small city east side bird. Anna's hummingbird. Yeah, the Annas, they were first seen in Discovery Park like in the 70s. There was a lady who fed them across the street, and there was like 5 or 6, and now they've gone all the way to Alaska, Spokane. They're all over the place. And my question is, are they invasive or are they expanding their range? We're not going to get into politics. How about Virginia rail? All right.
Where was that?
Nice. Heard or seen? Heard or seen?
Heard.
American coot.
So what happened?
The coots?
Yeah, I mean, this year there's no.
Union Bay. They're all at Union Bay.
They're all in one place.
Yeah, they're big rafts right over by the bridge over there. There's thousands in there. Okay, now we're going into shorebirds, killdeer. All right. Black turnstone. All right, that's a good one. Normally we don't get those until the group from the west side. They do Blakely Rock there, and that's where they get them there. Surfbird. Sanderling. Dunlin. Rock sandpiper. Lee sandpiper. Western sandpiper. Long-billed dowitcher. Wilson snipe. Oh, you did? Yeah, we know they're around. That's the one shorebird we can normally count on. But all the other ones I read, we don't really get those. We get those in migration, but during the winter they don't come here and hang around much. We get up at the Skagit, we get thousands of Dunlin up there and these sandpipers, but here in town there just isn't the place for them. So a few more spotted sandpiper, greater yellowlegs. About common murre. Right. Pigeon guillemot. Okay. Marbled murrelet. Marbled murrelet is one of those birds that every time I see one, I wonder if it's the last time I'll see one in Washington. But I say that, but again, I was at Edith's Hook a couple weeks ago, and I had 20 of them out there.
Yay.
So they're just, you got to look in the right spot. Rhinoceros auklets. We're going to run through everyone's favorite, gulls. Bonaparte's gulls. All right. Harriman's gulls. Yeah, those are, that's late for them, but they can be found. Short-billed gull. Ring-billed gull. Western gull. Right. California gull. Herring gull. No one pulled a herring gull out of the gulls. Icelandic gull. All right. Dick's on a roll here.
Just because you're my series.
Yeah.
We only had a few hundred goals. So.
Glaucus wing. That's what most people got. The dreaded western glaucus wing gull hydra. So that one is not really considered, I don't know if they really count it as that on the list. I'm not sure. I think you just skip over those. I'll make a little check. Red-throated loon. Red-throated loon, great. Pacific loon. There's big.
Oh, in Discovery Park.
Common loon. She had one back there on the ferry ride. You took
Golden Garden.
Brandt's cormorant. Pelagic cormorant. Double-crested cormorant. Okay, this one's a little tougher. American bittern. They're probably around, but they're very secretive, and we don't always see them. GBH. Now, where was I?
GBH.
GBH is 63. Northern Harrier. Another bird we just don't have the habitat in the city for them. You know, the grassland areas would be where they're found, but we just don't have the area. Sharp-shinned hawk. All right. Cooper's hawk. Well, I'm sure you all have heard about the Urban Raptor Coalition or whatever it is. The Conservancy, yeah, but there's been so many Cooper's hawks in the Seattle area now. It's amazing. You know, date myself. When I started out, there were not that many in town. But now they're all over the place. Now you can almost count if you see a accipiter type bird flying by, it's a Cooper's hawk. Okay, we're going to go bald eagle unspecified. Because they have it broke down as adult, immature, unspecified, so bald eagle. You know, everyone's got those. Red-tailed hawk. Barn owl. So at Discovery Park this morning, they heard a barn owl when they were. Yeah. We were owling at Discovery Park this morning. It started at 6, and they heard one. Western screech owl. Screech owls are kind of tough to find. The barred owls supposedly are eating them all up. So but they've learned to be quiet. Great horned owl. You know, we had about 15 people at Discovery Park today looking for him or listening for him, but we never did. Tim's going there now. Yeah. One of the guys, Tim Garland, lives right over there, and he's the owl informant over there. So he's going to go back there tonight. I'm sure by the time we finish up, we'll have some. The barred owl. Right, so yeah, the barred owl is really becoming the owl of the city. And almost every little ravine and park has something, and it's always fun to hear about people getting whacked in the back of the head. Short-eared owl. And they come through in migration, but we don't have the area, habitat for them. Northern saw-whet. Herd. Belted kingfisher. All right, now they seem to be doing pretty good. Red-breasted sapsucker. Red-breasted sapsucker. Not a single red-breasted sapsucker? Wow. I'm not sure why that is, if they're declining that much. I mean, they've always been secretive, but that's too bad. A downy woodpecker. Hairy woodpecker. Northern flicker. Yeah, we had a lot of northern flickers today. Anybody notice any intergrades today?
What's that?
An intergrade is the northern flicker used to be considered two species, yellow shaft and red shaft. Now they're considered one species because they interbreed. So instead of being hybrids, they are intergrades. And we do get some of those down here. They breed up in Canada, and we get some that come down here. So the most telltale sign is the yellow shaft that has a red nape on the back of its head. So if you see one with a red nape on the back of the head, it's partly an intergrade. And sometimes we had one in our yard for a couple years that the male yellow shaft that has a black mustache. And for a couple years we had one that had a red and black mustache. So it's just something that we think they're all the same. And if you look around now, it gives you something to look at when you look at the flickers just to see if they're intergrades. Pileated?
Woodland Park Zoo.
We got some trees where they did some serious damage, but we never actually saw one. American kestrel. Yeah, another bird of the countryside. We get them in town sometime, but not very often. Merlin. Yeah, that's a good one. We had two of them today. So that's another bird that seems to be increasing in town. They've come to town where the living is easy. How about peregrine falcon?
Try.
That's kind of a miss. We normally
Try it hard.
see those, huh? Hutton's vireo. Few Hutton vireos hanging around. Northern shrike. Normally one we get at Discovery, but I haven't heard of one there this year. Steller's jay. California scrub jay. All right. Well, here's an easy one. Crow. Oh, wait. American crow. Common raven. So the ravens, I think, are really another really interesting birds. For years, they nested on Vashon, but never nested in Seattle. But how many years ago, Kirsty, was it? They started coming into Lincoln Park, the ravens? How many years ago?
At least 15.
So they started coming into the park at down there, and now they're at Discovery. They're a bunch of different places now. The raven. So they've come into this. Some of these birds are coming into the city. They figured out that there's a place to eat here, and they're coming in. Okay, black-capped chickadees. That's a bird even non-birders know because it's on every coffee cup and Christmas card. And chestnut-backed chickadees. Right. And that's a bird we take for granted because when people from back east come out here, that's one of the birds they want to see is chestnut-backed chickadees. And we're just like, they're all over, they're in our backyard all the time. Bush tit. So how many people put down 20 bush tits? 20 bush tits is the standard answer. That's what you put down. They come in packs of 20. Ruby crown kinglet. All right, I like the little feisty little guys. Golden crown kinglet. Here's one I haven't seen too many of. Cedar waxwing. All right. So that was at the Arboretum. Which age you guys? Good. Red-breasted nuthatch. Brown creeper. Good. Buick's wren. Pacific wren. Marsh wren. All right. We get small numbers of marsh wrens. It's just got to be in the right habitat. European starling. How about the Townsend solitaire? Ooh. They got their arm up. So is that by that pyracantha bush along the trail from the park hat? Okay. Hermit thrush. All right. We get a few of those every year. Just kind of varies. They're so secretive. They're hard to find sometimes. American robin. Okay, I wasn't going to ask about those, but a lot of robins. And this is one we looked for a while. We just didn't find. Varied thrush. It seemed like not as many this year or something, or else we just couldn't find them. House sparrow. Pipit. No pipit. Evening grosbeak. House finch. Purple finch.
Wow.
Red crossbill. And I've been reading about these invasion of the northern finches this year, but it seems to be back east. We're just not getting very many of them out here. Pine siskin. All right. Even the pine siskin numbers are way down this year. Goldfinch.
Try. You know where they usually are.
Fox sparrow. Dark-eyed junco. I think I read a couple years ago that dark-eyed junco is the most common backyard feeder bird by far. I know at our house we have like 40 of them right now. White-crowned sparrow. golden crown sparrow, white-throated sparrow. All right. The white-throated sparrow is kind of, some years we get more than others, but there always seem to be some around. Savannah sparrow. That's one that's rarely hangs around for the winter. Most of them are gone. Song sparrow. How about a Lincoln sparrow? All right. Spotted towhee. And I think I heard about this one already. Meadowlark. Yeah, he told me about it. Meadowlark.
Where was that?
The Gasper.
Wow, really?
It's like on the lawn.
At Gasworth Park, you know, that's got a big grassy area there. That's kind of a, what the meadowlarks need is a big grassy area. Red-winged blackbirds. Brown-headed cowbird. They hang around sometimes, but they normally head south. Brewer's blackbird. No one went to McDonald's or Costco. Orange crown warbler. Oh, good job. Yellow rump warbler. That's a bird that's definitely on the increase in town. I don't know if it's because there's more myrtle trees, or I don't know why, but there seem to be quite a few more. Townsend's warbler. Nice. So that is the end of the official list, but I know there's a couple unofficial.
Short-tailed shearwater.
Oh.
We also have barn swallow. West Point Discovery Park. Yeah. You went there, shearwater? Probably the same one. Probably, yeah. I wrote down a time we saw it. 9:38. 9:38. Should be.
So barn swallow, that's a good one. They've been hanging around a little bit more. But I remember about 20 years ago there was quite a few barn swallows, and one of the theories is that they're actually Asian barn swallows coming through. But I don't know if that was just talk or what, because I never saw anything to back that up. But I remember at Wiley Slough one year there was about 20 barn swallows during the winter, which was highly unusual. But they do hang around. Anybody else got anything off the wall?
Green heron.
Green heron. I'm surprised that isn't on the list here, but it's not. What's that? Okay. Interesting to see, but not a separate species. Oh yeah, they're always cool.
What they speak?
Cystic black-capped chickadee, which has extra white. I think those birds are always interesting because you can actually identify a particular bird. Normally you see a junco, and they're all juncos, but if you see one that has some white here and there, you can actually identify a certain one. So we have one to add, and it's not on the list either. We had a summer tanager.
Really?
I sent it on to Ryan Merrill and Dennis Paulson and Matt Bartles. Dennis was more like, I'm going to go into the museum and I'll check the specimens, but Matt and Ryan said it's summer tanager.
Very excited about the summer tanager.
He's got something against tanagers. It was in Lawtonwood. Lawtonwood, it's just north of Discovery Park. Yeah, Ronique found it and got some photos of it. It took us a while to go over it and go over it and go over it to figure out what it was, and then we were never sure, so I sent it out to Dennis and to Ryan, and they both confirmed that's what they think, and that's what it is until one of them says we're wrong.
Would that be a first in the state for December?
I don't know that, but Ryan and Dennis will be able to tell us. Well, it was a
It's either immature or
female, female colors. It wasn't breeding, but it was. Ronique found it up in a tree, and we got a bunch of pictures, and we spent a lot of time. First, we thought it was going to be a Western Tanager, because every once in a while they're Western Tanagers, but had absolutely no wing bars whatsoever. So then we started figuring out what else could be, and that's what we ended up with. Okay, so we got 119 species. 119. And that's what our count was last year, but we normally get something from Bainbridge Island over there, because part of our circle's over there. They usually come out with something, so those black turnstones and stuff. And maybe Tim will come back with another owl or two. But that would be great. So 119 is our average, and we don't have any of the added. So it was a good day. Thanks for coming out.